some Vikings fans don't sound thrilled to see Eagles fans in town for Super Bowl. St. Paul, Minnesota Vikings fan Marco Solt summed up how it feels to watch Philadelphia Eagles fans increasingly take over the Twin Cities for Super Bowl LII. Having the Eagles in the Super Bowl is like having the love of your life dump you and then you host their wedding in your backyard, said Solt, an Army veteran from Ramsey, Minnesota, who played in a Wounded Warrior amputee football game on Wednesday in St. Paul. That's what it feels like. Talking to Vikings fans ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl, it's clear that the January 21st loss to the Eagles in the NFC title game still stings. But the animus felt by many in Minnesota is more about how some of the Eagles fans acted. Images shared on social media that included taunts, middle fingers and beer tossed in the direction of Vikings fans in and around Philadelphia's Lincoln Financial Field. More, Rob Gronkowski cleared from concussion protocol for Super Bowl LII. Per report more, Tom Brady's mastery of the comeback can be traced back to his Michigan days. A sign created and carried around by a couple of Eagles fans really irked the Vikings faithful. It read, "Millie," mocking the 99-year-old Vikings fan who attended her first NFL playoff game last month and was gifted 2 Super Bowl tickets by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. "That was horrible. Bar none," said Dan Jordan, a Vikings fan and veteran from Chaska, Minnesota. "There was no excuse for that one. That's just stupidity at its finest." NFL Chief Security Officer Kathy Lanier said the actions by some Eagles fans at the conference championship game didn't go unnoticed by the league, which is working with Eagles security as well as Philadelphia police in looking into the incidents. "I have been emailing and taking phone calls, speaking to fans about that game for the past 2 weeks," Lanier said. "Right now, we are working with the stadium security folks in Philadelphia and local PD there. We are helping with putting all those things together to help identify if there were ticket holders engaged in that kind of behavior inside the stadium that would lead the Eagles to ban them from coming back." But even after what they saw out of Philadelphia fans last month, Minnesotans remain a welcoming bunch. This might sound cheesy, but Minneapolis and St. Paul want to show that they're more than just a snowtown, said Carrie Renstrom of Mara, Minnesota. Renstrom was among thousands who filled Zell Energy Center for Monday's Super Bowl opening night, where fans paid to watch media members talk to players and coaches. Vikings fan John Hauschilt of Lakeville, Minnesota, was also at opening night and sensed some excitement about Sunday. "I still think there is some excitement, but if you would have been here last week, it would have been miserable," he said. Photos, Minnesota attractions for Super Bowl visitors.